friends, we're wrapping up Negotiating Anything, Any Place with Chapter 12, and wow, it's a heart-stirring finale that hits you right in the feels. Titled Taking It Personally, this chapter is like a warm hug mixed with a pep talk, urging you to stand out in a world that sometimes treats you like a number. It's about making people see you, not a faceless statistic, but a real, breathing human with dreams and struggles. Let's dive into this like we're sitting around a campfire, swapping stories about what makes us tick and how to get what we need by being unapologetically ourselves. Don't be a number, be a name. Ever feel like you're just a speck in the universe, lost in the shuffle of big organizations and endless red tape? Chapter 12 grabs you by the hand and says, you're not a cog in the machine. You're a person, and that's your superpower. The author argues that to negotiate effectively, you've got to make the other side see you as a unique, vulnerable human being. It's not about manipulation, it's about connection. By the time I finished this chapter, I was ready to walk into any room and make sure my voice and my story gets heard. The big picture, humanizing the game. The core idea here is that in a world of growing bureaucracy where we're often reduced to data points, the key to getting what you want is personalizing. The author paints a vivid picture of how things used to be. Think corner stores where the owner knew your name, and contrasts it with today's cold, impersonal systems. It's not about turning back time, but about bringing that human touch to negotiations. If you can make the other person see you as a flesh and blood individual, not a case or a customer, they're more likely to care and act. The chapter leans on a powerful truth. People connect with people, not numbers. The author uses the chilling example of the Holocaust. Millions of victims were hard to grasp, but Anne Frank's diary made the horror real because it was personal. It's a gut-punch reminder that one story can move hearts where statistics fail. In negotiations, that means presenting yourself as someone with feelings, needs, and a story worth hearing. And when you're representing a group, like a company or charity, don't negotiate for the organization. Make it about you representing that group, so the commitment feels personal. Key moments and themes, stories that stick. This chapter is packed with examples that bring the idea to life, each one a mini lesson in how to stand out. First up, there's the speeding ticket scenario. You're pulled over, heart racing, and instead of arguing, you step out of the car, act lost, and chat up the officer about his tough job. You share a personal worry, a sick kid, a rough day, and suddenly, you're not just speeding driver number 47. I laughed imagining myself trying to charm a cop with a sob story, but it makes sense. Make them see you, and they might just let you off with a warning. Then there's the apartment hunt in San Francisco where you're 31st on a waiting list for a dream place. The author's advice? Show up with your family, charm the superintendent, and keep visiting until you're more than a name on a list. You're practically family. I love how it's about building a relationship, not just demanding a spot. It's persistence with a smile, and it feels so doable. The hitchhiking story about the author's son, Stephen, is pure gold. He carries a gas can as a suitcase to look like a stranded driver, not a random hitchhiker. Drivers laugh, connect, and give him rides because he's memorable. It's a clever trick, but it's also a reminder that standing out humanizes you. I was grinning, thinking how Stephen turned a risky plan into a masterclass in creativity. The computer error example is so relatable. Haven't we all gotten a wrong bill and felt like we're shouting into a void? The author suggests punching extra holes in a punch card. Genius. Or writing a personal letter with CCs to the boss to get a human to notice. It's like hacking the system with a human touch. The French melon story, where a kid pesters a farmer into selling him a melon for pennies, shows how persistence and a personal story can melt even a tough nut. And And finally, the apartment heating issue. Visiting the landlord's home on a Sunday, kid in tow, to appeal to his humanity feels bold but brilliant. The chapter closes with a contrast between two mayors, New York's John Lindsay, who negotiated for the city and flopped, and Chicago's Richard Daley, who made everything personal and became a legend. Daley's bumbling charm and one-on-one pleas, "I lit a candle for you," made people feel seen. It's a masterclass in why personal connection trumps polish. Emotions and conflicts, the heart of it all. This chapter tugs at your emotions like nobody's business. There's a quiet sadness in how it describes our modern world. Faceless bureaucracies, endless lines, and that Kafkaesque sense of being a nobody. I felt a pang of nostalgia for those old neighborhood stores, even if I never really knew them. It's like the author's mourning a lost warmth in how we deal with each other. But there's also this fierce spark of defiance. The conflict here is you versus anonymity, the system that wants to reduce you to a number. Every example, from the speeding ticket to the apartment hunt, captures that tension. Will you fade into the background, or will you make them see you? The author's stories are laced with hope, showing how a smile, a story, or a shared moment can shift the dynamic. When the French farmer gives in to the kid, or when Daley wins over Chicago, you feel this rush of yes, proof that being human can win the day. You, the human hero. You're the star of this chapter, evolving from someone who might feel lost in the crowd to a negotiator who knows how to shine. At the start, you might shrug and accept being apartment 203 or ticket in a 463. By the end, you're ready to step up, share your story, and make connections that matter. The author's coaching you to embrace your vulnerability, not as weakness, but as strength. I'm already practicing my personal pitch for the next time I need to nudge someone into helping me out. My take, why this chapter's a keeper. I'll be honest, this chapter's my favorite. It's like the author sat me down and said, "You've got more power than you think." The stories are so vivid. Daley's candle line had me cackling, and the Gaskin trick is pure genius. It's practical but soulful, reminding you that negotiation isn't just about winning, it's about connecting. My only tiny wish, maybe a bit more on handling rejection when your personalizing doesn't work right away. But honestly, this chapter's a love letter to being human, and it's got me fired up to make every interaction count. It's also a call to action, not just to get what you want, but to lift others up along the way. That closing quote from Sophie's Choice about Auschwitz, "Where was man?" hit me hard. It's a reminder that our humanity is our greatest tool, but also our responsibility. I'm walking away from this chapter feeling less like a speck and more like someone who can make a difference, one conversation at a time. Takeaways: be seen, be heard, be you. So, what's the big lesson? Don't let the world turn you into a statistic. Personalize yourself, share your story, your quirks, your needs. Personalize the situation. Make it about you, not some faceless group. Whether you're dodging a ticket, snagging an apartment, or fixing a computer glitch, your humanity is your edge. And it's not just about you. It's about helping others feel seen too. This chapter's a rallying cry to live, love, and negotiate with heart. What do you think, folks? Ever had a moment where being you, not a number, made all the difference? Maybe you charmed your way out of a jam or connected with someone who changed the game. Drop your stories below. I'm all ears, and I bet we've got some gems to share.
Ever wished a book could change your life? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Bookpecker, where we peck into the pages of the most insightful books on financial freedom, personal growth, and beyond. I break down must-reads, share real takeaways, and help you unlock knowledge without the fluff. Expect honest reviews, practical lessons, and maybe a surprise or two along the way. So, if you love books and want